Hi, my name is Borys, and in this video I'm going to show you around the new effect which is included in Live 12, and it's called Roar. We will go through its best functions and take a look at some potential use cases to give you a better understanding of how to apply it to your own tracks. Before we get into the video, if you like what we are doing on this channel, make sure to subscribe. We've got more content on Live 12 coming up. And if you'd like to learn Ableton 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out our beginner to advanced Live 12 start to finish course. Alright, so let's jump into it. So here's the plugin. To give you a tiny bit of background, it was inspired by a video game actually, which is called Doom, but it's not the original retro game, it was the 2016 game called Doom, which included a lot of sound effects made with elaborate distortion processing. So Roar turns out to be a distortion device with a lot of modern functions like LFOs, filters, we've got feedback, we've got compression and some multi-band settings as well. So there's definitely a lot to explore here. If you just apply low amounts of Roar, it can also be used as a subtle saturator, but when you push it to extremes, it can be a really abrasive sounding distortion. The character of the distortion depends a lot on these modes here, which we in each band can choose by just clicking on this drop-down menu right here. We have some warmer sounding modes, the soft sine, the tube preamp, and we also have some very cold sounding modes like the digital clip or the bit crusher. Myself, I'm quite impressed by the results of processing with Roar, but it also seems to be very easy to overdo these effects due to the amount of functions available here. You can get lost in this plugin by itself, so just make sure to always apply this in moderation unless you want to go crazy with distortion. Alright, I'm going to guide you through different sections here. So first of all, we have this drive knob, but this drive knob is just the input gain. It's the same as if we put a utility before the device and we just increase the gain there. The more gain we put through distortion, the more overtones we're gonna get. This is just a simple gain control at the beginning of the effect. We have a bunch of modes here, and let's choose single for now. I'm going to fold this section for now. So here we have the main sort of tab, which is always divided into two sections. So we have the amount of effect and the display which responds to our amount right here. And we also have the filter, and yeah, we can choose different filter modes right here. So yeah, we have different distortion modes. I'm not going to be going through every single one of these, but the most important ones besides the soft sine are definitely the tube preamp, which sounds really warm and authentic. And also the noise injection is a really nice, interesting approach towards distortion. But we're going to be going through sound examples a bit later on. And let's just now quickly go through all the other sections. So here we have feedback. So on the right side of the effect, we have simple output gain, a dry wet control, and we also have a compressor here, a one knob compressor, which is a curious way of approaching it, and it can really squash any signal even after applying all the distortion. Also what we have here is feedback, so if we increase this and choose some of these modes here, we're going to be getting some sort of echo style feedback after the sound stops playing, and we are also going to be taking a look at this in depth. And when we expand this modulation section here, we have the LFOs, envelope, and noise generator, which is really curious. And when we feed some audio, yeah, it's going to be generating some sort of random wave here. And we can choose between different types, and this is really, really interesting. And you can apply this to many, many parameters here in the effect by using the matrix tab here. So for instance, if you want to apply the noise to the mid-band amount of distortion, we just click on the right control here and add noise, which now controls this parameter right here. You can see it moving here right on the display. And you can do this with many, many more controls. For example, the feedback amount, resolution of the filters, drive, tone, frequency, everything pretty much in the synth. And the envelope tab is in fact an envelope follower. I have a drum loop playing here in the background, so we can map it to some parameters. For example, let's take a look at the different pattern here. You can see the sound visually here, and the envelope just follows the gain. Okay, so that's quite a lot to take in for a single effect. It's one of the most elaborate effects in all of Ableton. So let's take a look at some sound. So let's take a listen to some sound examples, and we'll figure out how these are done. And then we'll talk about what interesting things this effect can do. Let's get started. The first pattern here is a drum break. Let's play it dry. And I'm going to be applying roar, 2 bands only playing in the low and mid band, and I have adjusted the mid band to take up also the high frequencies. So here it is. So as you can hear, it's perfect for making your sounds very vintage sounding, especially here with our soft sine and the diode clipper algorithms here. The matrix isn't even used here, we're not using any feedback, we're just using a bit of compression on top. So that's one way of approaching it. And let's take a look at the second example. We have a Reese bass, simple Reese bass playing in wavetable. Okay, and let's enable roar on top. So we are using the noise distortion mode, noise injection, on 2 channels. So we have the serial routing, which means that we are taking the first stage and then we're also processing the first stage with the second stage. And we have a 50-50 blend of both of these. Yeah, what we end up with is an effect which is similar to erosion, the noise setting in erosion in live. And yeah, we are getting this nice, warm, noisy top end, which is really perfect for adding some top frequencies if you're lacking these. Right, let's take a look at example number 3, and we have a bass guitar loop. Let's listen. And let's put roar on top of it, and you'll hear that it acts really well as a sort of bass pedal. Right, and I am just using a single band here, nothing fancy, the tube preamp, which is a really nice algorithm for guitars here, and just a bit of a mount, and it's already perfect. A bit of compression on top, and it's ideal. Again, not using the modulations here. Now let's take a look at the pad. Here it is dry. We're just using one of our wavetable presets. Let's hear it. And I'm not going to be using roar here to add much distortion. I am going to be using the filter, which has a really nice, curious comb filter. I am also mapping the first LFO, so this one, to the frequency of the filter. So we are moving this comb filter and we are adding a phaser-like effect. You just need to take a listen. So this effect doesn't have to be used as distortion only. The filters are really good here as well. It's very simple to assign an LFO here via the matrix. Now let's take a look at some more drums. And here we have one of the kits from Live 12 packs, and I'm going to be disabling roar for now. Let's hear it. And on the clap sound, I'm going to be adding roar with some feedback added. So here's the clap dry and adding roar. And we could even add more I'm sure you can hear the feedback. It's a bit of an echoey, weird feedback loop that just is added as a tail to the sample. I think it's a really nice way of creatively processing some sounds, especially some drum sounds. Time mode for now seems to be my favorite, but all the other modes are also really interesting. What's really curious is the note algorithm, which seems to tune the feedback to the note that you're choosing here. Yeah, so it's really curious, and I'm sure that with enough experimentation, lots of producers are going to be finding this quite inspiring actually. Let's take a look at the last example, and we have a simple 808 sound which is quite bassy, and we are lacking some top frequencies. Let's hear it. And let's put roar on top of it. Okay, and once again we are using the noise algorithm here, which is adding plenty of top frequencies by itself. We're doing 100% of amount here and just reducing the very high frequencies, because it would sound like this without it. I think it's a great way of beefing up bass by using this noise injection distortion mode here. Okay, so let's discuss what I think are the best features here. What actually interesting things does this effect do? It's a quite good multi-band distortion for sure. Every single distortion mode is like a different effect in itself, and it's definitely worth exploring every single one. But to me, the soft sine, the tube preamp, the diode clipper and the noise injection are my absolute favorites. The built-in feedback is definitely interesting, but to me it's not very practical for these bread and butter type of sounds. This effect is also very focused on the filtering and the modulation sections. It can definitely be used to create some interesting sound effects, and also I'm sure that in some of the rougher sounding genres like techno or maybe dubstep, it might become one of the best sound design tools, because elaborate distortion is at the core of these genres. And what's also very interesting is the inclusion of the envelope follower and the noise mod source. You can map these sources to pretty much anything in the effect, which can lead to some happy accidents. Alright, I hope you found this brief walkthrough useful. Let us know in the comments if you think Roar is a good addition to Ableton. Make sure to check out our Music Production Academy for start to finish courses on making tracks in various genres. And if you'd like to learn Live 12 with all the foundations of music production, check out the Beginner to Advanced Live 12 Start to Finish course. All links you'll find in the description. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, leave us a like, write a comment, and I will see you in the next ones.